Yeah, I noticed that you have objectives written well, and I thought maybe I should address something that many of you are failing to um, kind of like understand at this point. Maybe because we haven't taken classes in assessment or in lesson planning. I can see that you have got a lot of objectives that you want to be achieved in one lesson. When you look at this is very unrealistic for a lesson to have this many objectives. So what happens is that when I look at the objectives and I look at the assignment, there is no alignment of your assessments and your objectives. For example, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 objectives that are supposed to be accomplished met in one lesson. But when I look at the students will be able to conclude that the ratios of width to the length of the size of whatever rectangles are equal, I don't really see any assessment that is measuring this. So alignment of objectives and assessment is that for each objective that you have, there should be a way of showing some post-assessment or some assessment of that objective. So I only see that you have got the last one, which is asking students to solve a measurement problem, which is well aligned to this assessment that you are showing here as your post-assessment. So what we have to know is the more objectives that we have, the more assessments that you're supposed to have. So if I were you, I would really cut down and be able to remain with only those that I'm able to show in my assessment. Then another thing that I wanted to say is that also when you look at your procedures, they should also be aligned to objectives, your assessments, meaning that whatever you are saying here in your objectives, activities should show discussion, should show students being able to teach them how to recognize. So if you don't show activities that meet all those objectives, then it means your procedures again are not aligned to your objectives. So you in your other classes you hear teachers saying alignment of objectives, assessment, procedures, meaning that you can't ask a student to say by the end of the lesson as an objective, they'll be able to list, and then on your assessment you say by the end of the lesson they'll write an essay. So listing of something and writing of essay as an assessment or post assessment is not aligned to listing. So whatever you say here should be reflected in your assessments. Then when I was just looking at your assignment, your procedures, I also didn't see anywhere you will be introducing the objectives of the lesson to the students. They should know the objectives. What is it that we want to accomplish by the end of the lesson? It should be somewhere in the introduction so that students will be anticipating like, okay, I should be able to do this by the end of the lesson. So that's something that you need to address. Then I have other comments here like class discussion. Yes, class discussion, you can use it with other types of assessment, then it will work. I'm going to attach a document with types of assessment and techniques that you can use so that at least you move away from the idea of always saying, I'm going to use a discussion, I'm going to use a discussion. There are so many ways of assessing and checking for understanding as an interim assessment that you could use. So I would like you to clean up a document, make sure that you align your objectives and your assessment. So if you know for sure that you're not able to show some of these objectives, then don't put them in your post-assessment because this one is not showing almost everything. Let me know if you have any questions. I think you have great potential. It's a learning process for many of you, and I understand that. Let me know if you have any questions.